So today we'll be showing you guys how to replace the tire on your Apollo Go.
The tools you'll need to complete this repair are zip ties, an air pump, a 3mm Allen key, an 11mm wrench, and 2 tire irons or tire levers.
Alright, so first things first, we are going to remove the 6 rubber caps on each side of the forks that hide the screws. Next, we will remove the screws that hold both sides in place. For this, you'll need a 3mm Allen key. Now we'll put this to the side, and now we'll do the same thing for the other side. Next, we will loosen the motor nuts. We'll use an 18mm wrench to remove the nuts. Once the nuts are loose, put your hand underneath the motor so that it does not just fall and potentially cause any damage. And it should fall out just like this. Now also, make sure to keep in mind how the orientation of the washers and locking nuts are. So now that we got the motor off of the swing arm, we'll put it on top of the deck. So before we start trying to remove the tire, we're going to completely deflate it. Give the tire a good push. Just like that, all of the air is now out. And the tire is off the bead. Alright, so next we're gonna grab some tire irons to pull the tire off. So for this, you're gonna need at least 2 tire irons, and we highly suggest wrapping it around with some electrical tape to help prevent it from scratching the motor. Alright, and just like that, the tire is now off. Next, we will start replacing the tire. Now, there's a couple different tricks on getting the tire back onto the rims. We are going to try a zip tie method. The zip tie method pretty much helps make sure that the tire is compressed as much as possible. This helps with letting the tires slip onto the rim easier. So we are going to put a couple zip ties all the way around the tire and also push on the tire and tighten it while pushing. So we'll do 1 or 2 more. Alright, so now that we've got the tire pretty much completely zip tied and one side is pretty much touching the other side, go ahead and start putting our tire back. Now in doing this, you need to make sure that you are putting it back on the right tread. You will want the directional arrows pointing away from you, this way. So we'll just pry this on like this. So now that we've got our tire back on our rim, we'll start cutting our zip ties. All right, and now we will reinflate our tire. You'll want to be inflating your tire to 50 psi. All right, and just like that, your tire is now reinflated. We'll put back the valve cover, and now we'll start the process of putting the motor back on its swing arms. And we'll just make sure that everything is in the correct orientation. Remember that the washers go on the inside of the fork and not the outside. Make sure they're nice and tight on both sides. And now we'll put back our plastic cover pieces. If you are confused about which side is which, you can look at this side here and it'll be labeled left or right. And now we'll just put back this side. Now when putting back this side, just be careful of the motor cable as you do not want to pinch it. Okay, all right, there you go. Okay, and now we'll screw in the last screws. And now we just put back the rubber caps. And that is pretty much how you replace a tire on your Apollo Go. Now please note, when replacing the tire on the Apollo Go, the process is very much the same thing for the front and back, but the back is actually a little bit easier because you are able to take the motor off of the swing arms.